Hello and welcome to a new video. In today's video we're going to take a look at not only Tinkatuff but also Tinkaton in the same team. I am well not able to get this Pokemon done, like both of them, because for the Tinkatuff you need to have that fully XL'd, and yeah, we see actually an interesting screen type as well. It's very big. I hope it's everything okay for the graphics. I don't see it yet, but you will see it. But yeah, I don't know if that's an iPad or just a very big phone, but we have some gameplay sent to us with those two Pokemon. And of course, to spice it up even further, we're going to have the Galarian Moltres here as a shiny. I got this Pokemon as a shiny as well before, traded to my girlfriend because mine had bad IVs and she likes shinies a bit more. So yeah, I don't have it anymore, but it's a cool one to get and definitely, yeah, an interesting one. He has the Brave Bird is going to connect and it's down to Golurk here. We're gonna go straight here for the Bulldoze, which I guess is the only move you're gonna get to. You're gonna get the defense drop, which is great. And are you gonna let the move go through? Yes, you are. And I think you're gonna try to get to a play rough with the Tinkatuff, which is a little bit bulky, I think, than the other one, but doesn't have the greatest moveset there. It doesn't have Bulldoze as a potential option, so we have play rough and Flash Cannon, which is a good option, I guess, as like a closer to do a lot of damage, and as you see here, this is going to be a win. Otherwise, the Great League Remix Cup is going to end very, very soon. Only today and tomorrow is still going to be this cup available. And then we're going to have the Retro Cup as well as the Master League. I want to make a video for the top tiers of the Retro Cup, but PvPoke hasn't updated this one yet. I made my own kind of, yeah, I don't know, assumption of the meta. I kind of made some calculations for that kind of stuff. Looks like a cool one. I can tell you already, build your Ferrets. Ferret is going to be one of the best Pokemon you can run for the upcoming meta. For sure going to be the most significant buff from the last few seasons for the Retro Cup meta. But yeah, there's going to be a separate video coming out for that one as well. I just hope I'm going to get it done soonish. Anyway, we're going to see a Toxapex coming in. This is going to be, again, a Pokemon that we're actually going to have solid play against. Nice catch on the Brine here. Oh, you look like a Fire type, you're not a Fire type. We're going to get out the Pangoro again, which is going to have to use a shield here, absolutely. And I still think they're going to... no, they can't... Oh, that was a mistake. Holy... Like, why did they do that? I guess I just predicted you to go for the bait, but at this point, you can just use a shield and farm down the opponent's Dusk. No, you don't even need to go for a charge move. You're still gonna go for it, makes it a bit more safe. You're gonna get the shield here, or they just go for a no-shield challenge against you today. That's hilarious. Anyway, okay, we see the order swapped from the team, which is interesting. I did not know that this was going on, but let's see here. We're going to see by Cargo, where you at least have a double super effective hit against them. You sadly don't get the drop here, which is kind of unfortunate, because they are very likely going to go for the Rock Tomb. You predict that, which is a smart play. You could have went for 2 fast moves here. They don't knock you out with the Incinerate. Would have got you just a tiny bit more energy. Yeah. Not great for you, but also not the worst, I guess, because you have 2 shields here. You have neutral fast move pressure. You have super effective... Why would they go for that? Like, seriously. Hey, you have the one move that is going to be super effective and debuff the opponent, and you have the other move that is neutral and double debuffs yourself. What? Like, why would you go for the overheat there? But this is definitely going to help you out quite a bit, and you can now go ahead, swap out into Tinkatuff. They reveal that they're going to have the MasteryPokeMONGO in the back, and I don't think that MasteryPokeMONGO is going to enjoy this play rough from this very spicy Pokemon. As we will see here, they even have it best buddied, and yeah, they decide to forfeit. Marowak in the lead is going to be exactly what you want to face here. This is what you don't want to face with your backline, but your backline definitely does want to face Greninja. I don't know if it's better to go into this one or into the other one against Greninja. You have a bit more pressure with the other one. As you're going to see here, Greninja actually has a very solid matchup as well, having access to the Hydro Cannon, but they let the move go through, which is really good for you. Like, that is amazing for you, because now you can keep alignment. I guess it's better for you to go into Tinkatuff here in order to still have like Bulldoze coverage later on. But here you should be fine, no shielding. Like, the worst move that they couldn't go for is most likely the Shadow Bone, which is going to hurt. Gets the defense drop, but you have the perfect matchup here. And what you can do is, yeah, go for Bulldoze and just farm down afterwards. You don't need to shield anything here. The worst move that they can go for you is Crunch. Crunch is still resisted, but it's the best move that they can go for. Sludge Bomb seemingly is going to be the better move to go for, because it's like poison against Fairy, but because of the Steel type and Stubble is there, it is actually not better than a Crunch would be. Or Brutal Swing, of course. Here I would have assumed that you would have wanted to swap out a little bit earlier against the Pidgeot because, yeah, they are going to be able to do quite a lot of damage against you, but your backline is completely resisting this Pokemon. So, like, I feel like you should try to maybe catch a move here. That's exactly what you're gonna do. That's great. And that's going to be enough for you to, yeah, take the air cutter here. They got the boost, didn't really matter for them. Then we're gonna get out the Among Us. Yeah, at least have Bulldoze here. I guess Flash Cannon would be cool on the other Pokemon in this specific matchup, but you never really know what is coming in next. You're gonna see another Bulldoze coming in here. You could have went for a bit better fast move timing, I think, as well, because there's no way they can knock you out with any charge move here yet. You resist everything, like literally. So, yeah, Grass Knot is not going to be enough. You gotta swap out here, which is fair. Like, it's definitely fair. You were able to catch a move before. You're gonna use a shield against the foul play, and they're gonna go back into the Pidgeot, which you are not gonna be able to farm down. Again, better fast move timing would be kind of nice here. For one more fast move, you needed to go there, but yeah, you just kind of give up a bit of energy sometimes in your matchups, which is something that you can definitely improve on. But this is going to be a matchup that you're going to enjoy quite a bit, as Bomberta doesn't really like to get hit by an Ancient Power, but also doesn't really like to get hit by a Play Rough. And so, as long as they don't catch the move, you're going to be grand here. They decide to forfeit anyway, and so we can move on to the next opponent. Next opponent is going to have another Pidgeot. Again, I would actually assume that it would be better for you to maybe catch the first move on your Tinkaton, which you're going to try to do now, which didn't work out. Normal Pidgeot a lot of times doesn't run Air Cutter, a lot of times they run Feather Dance, exactly, because they're gonna have a bit more of an idea of trying to win battles by debuffing the opponent so much that they don't do damage against you anymore and you need a little bit more bulk to take hits. But you're gonna get out the Bastion, that is actually absolutely ideal. The only thing that's not ideal is that you're double debuffed here and this Bulldoze does not do any damage, but you debuff the opponent as well. Again, you don't do great fast move timing. This is something you can improve your gameplay quite a bit. And you decide to catch a move here. I don't really know if this is the best idea here. Flamethrower comes through. And they forfeit. Why? What happened? I don't know. Again, we have a swap of the lead. Interesting. We're going to have still at least the same Pokemon here, but Broguiere goes up against Tinkaton. We're going to have the Play-Rough coming through. This is going to allow you to do a ton of damage. Holy hell, that did quite a bit of damage. And they're now in range for a Bulldoze. You can survive a hit here as well. Go for one fast move and Bulldoze. And you're gonna see this swap out into Dusknoir, where you have the best answer here for you anyway, as you are going to be able to fully farm them down. They have Astonish, so they don't generate energy that fast. So this could be just a Shadow Punch, might be the Dynamic Punch. Let's see, it is the Dynamic Punch here, which is gonna be good for you. That you shielded this move up now. And as you will see here, Primeape is coming in. We're gonna have the Ancient Power going to connect now. They have to use a shield, yeah. They cannot risk it. They cannot risk it, exactly. Now you can risk it though yourself, at least, as this Brave Bird is coming through. And we see the shield coming up again. You still have a Fairy type in the back. You gotta catch the move here, which is absolutely amazing. But it is going to be the Rage Fist, which is not really ideal, because now they have a nice amount of damage output there. I think you got denied one fast move, which is annoying here. As they go for close combat, you still survive that one. You're gonna use a shield now against the Rage Fist that's coming in. You want to have it kind of the other way around. They go back into the Bibarel, and I do think that this most likely is going to be a loss for you. I can't see you winning this battle here anymore. And that's fair, that's fine. You're not gonna get... I don't think you needed... I don't think you should have got to the move here. I think the opponent just messed up a little bit. But maybe they were too scared of your Tinkatuff there. Could be the case. But anyway, we're gonna see again a lead change. You should most likely try... You're gonna try to catch the move, right? Yeah, exactly. That's a fair play. That's fine. You have still the better answer in the back as well. They decide to swap out straight away into the Dusknoir. And you're still going to pressure later on. Here you're going to pressure with Play Rough, and you're going to still pressure later on the Dusknoir, even with the, Ninetales with the Ancient Power. So, like, you're going to be in a very good spot here. The opponent going to go for the Shadow Punch. That is going to force you to be in a position where they can farm you down. That's kind of annoying. But what you can get is here the energy advantage. I don't think it's worth using a charge move here. You're mostly just going to be able to shield up a Dynamic Punch and now farm them down. I do think, okay, they swap out into a Togetic. That changes things, but not really, to be fair, because this is... I think that was a misclick. I don't think that they want to do this, because you saw basically the shield not even coming up at all. I am fairly certain this was a misclick. I don't think I want to say, like, oh, how could you shield this one? It doesn't make sense. I do think they know themselves that this didn't make sense, and I think they just, from the swapping or whatever, had the finger on the wrong button, because That just doesn't make sense. Like, it just doesn't. And they most likely know that as well. They're still going to be able to get the KO here, but it is going to be a bit of a tough one. You're going to be able to get the charge move against Ninetales. You can go for 4 fast moves. Okay, they're still going to get... I don't know. Maybe you still have a chance. You would need to put them into farm down range, though, for your team. Actually, you maybe have a chance here. You still survive a hit. It is going to be very likely the Dazzling Gleam, though. That's going to hurt. It's Weather Ball. Okay, that doesn't hurt. And he can maybe still get to a player off. But yeah, the shield there was not the way to go. They swap out, you knock them out. I think you might win now. That is kind of mad. But I don't know if the Ninetales actually still gets another move. They might be able to get there in time. They do not. That is ridiculous. Again, I do think that they, didn't want to shield there. Next game, we're going to see a very bad lead here. We're going to have a Dax Spun, and they're going to go into Stunfisk. At least they're going to have super effective coverage here. Well, it's not going to be the world. Like, it's not going to do a ton of damage. Boulder Spam is still going to be cool, though, because they're going to get the opponents, hopefully, some defense drops here onto them, which you get now, which is nice. The thing is here, Stunfisk completely beats the team. Completely destroys the entire team. There's not really a lot that you can do about it. You can take a hit here, though. And you might be able to catch a move onto your flying type. They went for 2 here, so you might need to... I think you need to go for 3 more fast moves and then swap. Let's see if you're gonna do that. No, you don't, because the opponent just gives up their Stunfisk. I think if the opponent would have known what team you have, they are going to completely regret their choice here. But you're gonna be able to go for a player off now, do a ton of damage against the opponent's Dex Bun, and you have a hard answer to this Pokemon. Every hit from Dex Bun is going to be resisted here. Tinkatuff is going to have a ton of bulk, and even with the Psychic Fangs, it doesn't really care too much about what the Dex Bun does here. Funnily enough, you're just gonna go for mostly the farm down. I don't think it's worth going for a charge move here at all. Yeah, exactly. Goodbye there. You're gonna see the swap out straight away, and this... Why did they play it out like this? I don't know, but you're gonna be able to now have the Core Style against the Dark type. I just don't understand sometimes the opponents here as well. That seems like a little bit of a silly play. But it is going to be a very good game here, because there's nothing they can do to win the battle. You can even still survive a hit here. And yeah, this is going to be quite ridiculous, as we're going to see here the next opponent coming in next. Let's see how this is going to go. Let's see here, Moltres against Togetic. This is going to be a very interesting matchup, because you want to swap out soon. But I guess you're going to... That's either Aerial Ace or the Psyshock. Not needed to shield there. Like, literally not needed to shield there. Especially if you want to swap out eventually. This is just silly to stay in here. Yeah, I don't know what you I don't know what you're doing here. You got the shield. Okay, that's cool. You didn't need to shield the first one. You didn't need to stay in for that long. Yeah, I know you like the idea of having energy on your Moltres. Don't think that was the right choice there. At the end of the day, you can go for like 5 fast moves. They never got to anything before 5 of your fast moves, and then try to swap out. I find that okay. Then you have a little bit of an energy lead for later on. All good, because everything in charge move is resisted. And you have great answers against Togetic in the back. That's all fine. That's all fine. But staying in for that long doesn't really make too much sense. We see here at least that the Swarmwood goes down, and they're going to go into the Grumpig, which does resisted damage with the fast move, and only neutral damage with the non-step charge moves of Shadow Ball, as well as the Dynamic Punch. I don't know here if this is... Why do they shield? I'm so confused sometimes, honestly. You're gonna let everything go through here, luckily. The thing is, you even can go for a play rough to knock them out. You can overfarm to one-hand energy here, is what I would do, by the way, because the Pokemon that's more scary is actually the Grumpig, shockingly, not the Pokemon that only has resisted damage against you and barely does any damage generally. So, Togetic, not really too scary. I know why they're all running Aerial Ace in your Elo here, but... Not needed to go for this move. It is not needed to go for this move. A player off is definitely going to be enough from this range, but you're gonna go for the safe play, which is a bit unsafe if you consider that they still have a Grumpig here that has a ton of energy, but you're still gonna get to the player off in time. That's fine. I guess, yeah, this didn't really need to be this close, but good game there. Final battle. Tinkatuff, definitely an interesting Pokemon. Good bulk, nice hard-hitting damage, but like not so great as, yeah, I don't know, like getting 2 moves fast, but at the end of the day, that's great synergy with Tinkaton, as I say so, because Tinkaton kind of beats some of the Pokemon that you don't want to face as the Tinkatuff, which is kind of funny. So, Defense Stop comes in here. The funny thing, by the way, about Claydol is that all the energy is going to go to waste here, so they're very likely just going to opt to try to go for the full farm down. or they just waste their energy, because everything is resisted. Unless they're running Scorching Sands, which is a rare, but I guess it happens. You wouldn't really have to worry about anything. But as you're going to see here, Tinkatuff coming in, they're going to have a Grumpig in the back, and this looks like a winnable matchup for you. The thing is here that the fast move is resisted. You know that you have a matchup that you're going to be able to win with Tinkatuff later on as well. And you already hit a player off here against the opponent's Grumpig, which means you are going to be in a very good spot. You can farm it down in the 2-shield scenario. You're going to be able to get another shield here with a player off before. And you win. Like, there is nothing they can do. Like, there is absolutely nothing they can do. You can fully farm them down in time. They didn't have a play there anyway. Like, even if they shield up the player off, they didn't have a play. They go for the Shadow Ball here. They go swap into the Guzzlord. Why do you swap out of here? Again, that doesn't make sense. You have Grumpig in the back still with like a few HP left. Would you not want to keep your Dark type for that? Yeah, just generally, it shouldn't matter. It shouldn't matter. I don't think it does matter at all. I don't think it's the clean play though. That's what I kinda like. That's the thing as well. Like, if I commentate over other people's gameplay, I kinda want to give some feedback. Like, I offer coaching as well on Metafy, by the way, if you're interested. But I want to give some feedback in order for them to improve for the future. So like, both sides have something. There are some things that I talked about here today that you can improve, especially fast move timing, sometimes like swapping. But this is going to be it for this video. Hope you enjoy. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and I will see you then. Bye bye.